Mechanics are pulling tricks that could drain your wallet dry. From fake urgent repairs to outdated maintenance lies, these scams cost drivers billions every year. In this video, we're ranking the 12 worst mechanic scams from dumb to downright dangerous, so you'll know exactly how to spot them before they bankrupt you. Let's get into it. Number 12, over maintenance and unneeded repairs. You step into a shop for a simple oil change. Should be quick, right? But then the mechanic leans over and asks, "When's the last time you replaced your cabin filter? Your tires? Maybe your spark plugs too?" Suddenly, you're second guessing yourself. The truth? Most of the time, you don't actually need it. AAA even gave this problem a name: over maintenance. It's when shops push you into paying for services your car isn't ready for. One man even said his wife's last words before every service trip were, "Don't let them sell you new tires." And no, you don't need a new filter either. She knew the trick before he even started the engine. Here's the eye-opener. Mechanics still tell people to change oil every 3,000 miles. That rule is from decades ago when oils broke down fast. Today's modern oils are designed to last double or even triple that distance. Yet many drivers still pay extra, not realizing they're following an outdated rule that only benefits the shop's bottom line. But if that sounds dumb, wait until you hear what happens when a simple checkup suddenly uncovers problems you never knew you had. Number 11, routine maintenance uncovers mysterious problems. You bring your car in for something small, maybe just an oil change, but then somehow the mechanic discovers broken ball joints or a failing suspension. Suddenly, a $50 visit turns into a $600 repair. Now, sometimes the part really is worn out, but other times the problem is exaggerated or simply not urgent. That's why the smartest thing you can do is say, "Show me." A good mechanic won't hide the issue. And if you're still unsure, get a second opinion. It's amazing how often those serious problems vanish when another shop looks at the car. And here's the darker twist. Sometimes the mechanic doesn't even know what's wrong in the first place. Instead of diagnosing carefully, they start guessing, replacing one part after another, and your wallet becomes their test subject. But things get even worse when the mechanic refuses to show you the problem at all. That's where the trust completely breaks down. And before we get to that, drop a comment if you've ever been upsold at the shop, hit the like button if this is helping you out, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the rest of these scams. Number 10, they won't show you the problem or broken part. This is the trust me scam. The mechanic says something's wrong, but won't take you back to see it. Either they don't know what they're talking about, or they don't want you to know. And if you're never shown the issue, how can you be sure it even exists? Good mechanics will gladly walk you over, point out the part, and explain it in simple terms. But when they refuse, that's a warning sign the size of your hood. Here's the unsettling detail. Counterfeit parts are a real problem. Some fake brake pads have actually been made from pressed wood shavings, even grass, painted black to look like the real thing. If you never see the part being installed, you'll never know what's actually going into your car. And speaking of parts, wait until you hear about the most dangerous scam of all, right at the very top of the list, when a shop refuses to give back your old parts after a repair. Well, these scams are all about appearance. The parts look dirtier than they really are, and that leads us straight to the next trick. Number 9, the dirty air filter trick. This one is a classic. The mechanic pulls out a filthy air filter, waves it in your face, and says, "This came from your car, you need a new one." That dirty filter isn't always yours. Some shops keep old grimy filters nearby just to scare customers. The fix is simple. Always ask to see the filter come out of your car, and keep track of when you last changed it, because filters don't need replacing nearly as often as some mechanics suggest. Because replacing filters too often is like buying new socks every time you walk across your living room. Totally unnecessary. But filters aren't the only place shops try to flush money out of you. The next scam sounds high-tech, but it's more of a spa day your car never asked for. Number 8, you need an engine or transmission flush. Engine flush, transmission flush, power steering flush. It all sounds important, almost like your car is checking into a health retreat. But here's the truth. Automakers almost never recommend these services. In fact, random flushes can actually damage your car. So why are they sold? because the word flush sounds serious. Drivers are told if you don't do this, your engine could fail. The reality is that fluids are carefully designed to last, and replacing them too early just drains your wallet. If that makes you shake your head, wait until you see how often mechanics target the most important safety system of all, your brakes. Number 7, incorrectly claiming you need new brakes. You need new brakes. Those 4 words can scare anyone. After all, nobody wants to gamble with their ability to stop. But here's the thing, most brake pads last at least 25,000 miles. Some last far longer. The scam works because brake wear is hard to spot without taking parts apart. You can't just glance and know. So many people trust the mechanic's word without checking. If you had your brakes done recently, always ask to see the pads while the car is still on the lift. If they can't show you, that's your answer. Even if the brakes really do need changing, how can you be sure the new parts going in are genuine? Because the next scam proves that sometimes the cheap fix can turn into the most expensive mistake of all. Number 6, a fuel cleaning will improve your MPG. This one promises magic. A fuel cleaning will boost your miles per gallon. Sounds tempting, right? Gas is expensive. Most cars never need a fuel system cleaning. Unless your car has very high mileage or specific injector problems, it's just another upsell. And here's the surprising part. Some shops sell special additives that actually disrupt the delicate chemical balance of your car's fluids. The result is, instead of helping, they can cause more harm. Yes, a professional cleaning can sometimes help restore performance in older high-mileage cars, but when offered as a routine service, the only thing guaranteed to improve is the shop's profit margin. And what if the repair itself is real, but the price tag looks like it was printed in Monopoly money? That brings us straight into the next scam. Number 5, inflating the cost of parts. Shops will always mark up the price of parts a little. That's normal. They cover the cost of ordering and stocking them, but sometimes the markup isn't a little, it's massive. You think you're buying a $50 alternator, and suddenly the bill says $150. A fair markup is usually around 10 to 25%. But some garages hike it far beyond that, counting on the fact that most drivers never check. In fact, there have been cases where drivers paid more for a basic replacement part than the cost of the whole car at a junkyard. Now, yes, higher quality parts from a dealership often cost more than the cheaper versions online, but the trick is when a shop charges dealership prices while actually using the bargain bin part, you're paying top dollar but getting bottom shelf. And that's only half the trick. Even if the part is fairly priced, how do you avoid a surprise bill before it hits you? The answer lies in the paperwork most people forget to ask for. Number 4, no written estimate. This is one of the oldest tricks. You ask, how much will it cost? And the mechanic shrugs and says, about $400. No paperwork, no breakdown, no signatures. Then when you return, the total is suddenly $800. And when you complain, they'll claim the parts cost more, or they found another issue while fixing it. Without a written estimate, you have no proof of what was agreed. Always ask for a written quote with parts and labor listed. And here's a smart move. Tell them they must call you if costs go beyond a set limit, like $100. That way, no matter what happens, you're in control. Many mechanics doesn't even bother with paperwork. Instead, they go straight for fear. That's where the next scam comes in. Number 3, the immediate replacement warning. You need this fixed now or it'll be dangerous. Those words can freeze anyone. After all, nobody wants to risk driving an unsafe car. But here's the truth. Sometimes that urgent repair is nothing more than a scare tactic. Of course, there are real cases where urgent repairs matter, but shady mechanics use fear to get instant approval, no time to think, no chance for a second opinion. The most chilling part is when some drivers have been told their cars were too dangerous to drive home, only to find out later nothing was wrong at all. That's why regular servicing with a trusted mechanic is so important. Problems can be spotted early, giving you time to decide. Well, fear is their favorite tool. Anger is the next one. Number 2, they get angry at your requests. Ever asked a mechanic to see the old parts or to explain a repair step by step and suddenly they snap back? That's a giant red flag. A professional mechanic knows customers have questions. A dishonest one gets defensive because they don't want you asking too much. The scary part, some drivers report that after questioning a mechanic, their car came back with new mystery problems. Was it sabotage? Hard to prove, but the pattern is worrying. So, if a shop can't handle simple questions without attitude, don't leave your car in their hands. And this all leads to the #1 red flag of all, the scam that combines secrecy, lies, and missing evidence. Number 1, they won't return old, damaged parts. This is the ultimate warning sign. A mechanic replaces something but refuses to hand you the old part. Sometimes it means they never replaced it in the first place. Other times, it means they don't want you to see how much life was left in it. A good mechanic will always return old parts if asked, and often without being asked. A great one will even explain how the part failed in simple words. But if they dodge, deflect, or flat out refuse, that's when you know the scam is real. Because in the end, the difference between a trusted mechanic and a dishonest one isn't the price, it's the honesty.